he's using dance because we're energy, right?
Yeah.
And when you move, it expresses that energy, and it might say you're angry, you could dance violently, you release the energy in that moment. It's not trapped in you.
Yeah,
He uses like huni cooing, which is an
Do you know what a person means?
Go on.
It comes from the Latin word persona.
Persona.
The pair of you. So it's you and yourself.
Well, who teach you different ways of breathing? One will stimulate the vagus nerve, which will induce relaxation. One will get you into heightened state so you can grow. One will get you into it. You get the point of it. Within seconds, my panic attack has been processed, released. I'm cracking on with my day.
How do you help someone that gets panic attacks?
If you were taught how to actually feel how you felt and have no aversion to it or craving for something that doesn't actually exist in this moment, why would you go and spend your money on stuff
that makes you feel worse?
Well, the whole point is they want you to feel like shit. They want you to think that this is the answer. So come and buy this and you'll
be happy.
Better.
Yeah.
But we need people to be in a place of dysregulation to make them even want to do that. So what else do? We start telling them in the news that everything's out to get them. That'll depression's like, oh, that did happen. But when you
can't change it.
Neither of them are bad, man. Like, you should be depressed sometimes. You should be anxious about stuff. It's about processing it in the moment.
It correctly.
It only needs to be there for a few moments. Like I did. Have you heard of Vipassana?
No.
So Vipassana is where you do 10 days meditation, silent meditation.
Vipassana.
And you do 10 hours a day. So in 10 days, you do 100 hours meditation, all silent. You're not allowed to speak to anyone. You're not even allowed to say thank you.
In Switzerland, they do that.
They do it all over the place.
They do it in Switzerland.
There's different. It comes from the Buddha, Siddhartha, but it's all about...
They're making groups where you go there with groups of people and you don't talk for 10 days. Yeah, I've been invited to one of them.
Vipassana is the technique.
Yeah.
So me and you could go sit in silence for 10 days. That isn't Vipassana. That's sitting in 10 days silence.
Yeah.
Vipassana is the technique where first you do anapana. So you watch the nostril breathing in and out. You do that for 35 hours, 3.5 days. All you do is watch the breath in, watch the breath out, just through the nose, just through this area. And you do that to sharpen the mind, create samadhi, concentration of the mind. So you can then do Vipassana. Yeah. Vipassana is actually where you go through each part of your body and you feel where there's density, where there's subtle energy, and where there's numbness. You can't feel anything. The subtle energy is just the flow of energy that you have in the body, just going as it normally should. The dense bit is where you've resisted, so you've had aversion to what's happening in the present moment, or you have a craving for something. Basically, you resist in the present moment, so you then block the flow of energy because you've done that.
Yeah.
You then don't like the friction that energy's, so it might come out as anxiety or discomfort.
Yeah.
Now, if you ain't used to processing that by meditating and being fully present with it, it gets pushed down into your psyche. That's why they say issues in the tissue. You manifest your problems in the body. You literally push it down and want to feel that. Yeah. So what the Vipassana does is you just watch it, equanimity. You don't try and change it at all. Just watch it. And I got to the point where my mind was so sharp, I could feel the atomic structure of my body. I could feel literally where all this density was. There was this mad bit where it's like this soupy feeling. Yeah. So rather than this like fizzy feeling or this dense, heavy feeling, it was like this.
Yeah, like a volcanic.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it actually. And then I focused on it so intently for hour after hour after hour, and every time I felt this aversion to it or any pain came up, I just came back to that, and then all of a sudden it just went. And I just felt it just going...
And then gone away?
No, it was there for hours. Even when I'd stopped meditating, I was walking around and I had this... And it was blissful. It was like really nice feeling. Because imagine holding
that for so long.
It was release. And then I'm there just about to fall asleep. And I was practicing it even as I was going to sleep, just watching the breath. In and out, in. Get distracted, come back to the breath. And then... The volcano erupted, brother. It just went, and it was better than any sex I've ever had. It was, mad, energetic orgasm of just like 10 straight minutes of just, what the fuck is this? And that
go rid of all the negativity that's been building up. Or is that negativity? What is the energy?
Do you know what it is? It's just energy, like you said. It's neither good nor bad.
It's just trapped and it can't flow.
I blocked it with my aversion in the past to summit, and I don't know why you trap certain stuff in different areas, but they say a lot of your emotions in like your lower back. So when you start doing yoga and you stretch your lower back to a certain degree, it releases, and then you get that sort of stuff happening to you as well. But the problem was I started craving that then, didn't I? I've got a very addictive personality. I had a lot of problems with drugs and drink and cigs back in the day.
addicted person. That's my luckiest bit that I have in my life. I smoked cigarettes, I've drunk, I've done, but because I've practiced judo since I was like a little kid, and I had that as a discipline foundation.
Right.
So every time I felt like I was going off the rails, I just grabbing my discipline back into with the training and stuff.
Yeah, no, that's really...
And it kept me focused. I think that's what's helped me, maybe.
No, definitely, because with me, I didn't have that. I'd just be watching TV, eating shit food, playing games. I had to create my own discipline.
Yeah.
So it's good that you've had that from a young age.
I've had that from a young age, so I think that's what... I've only realized this now because I'm in my 30s, and I realized, hold on a minute. That's what was my ground foundation of discipline. And and how's the podcast going? Tell me about the podcast. I've seen quite a few. I've not watched full podcasts. I've seen quite. We've had some interesting guests as well.
Yeah. I mean, I'm quite eclectic. I like a lot of different stuff, so I meet a lot of different characters. Like one minute I'm there at United, then next thing you know I'm meditating. Next thing you know I'm at a festival. You know,
No, you're doing good, and I can see the improvement as well. You know, from the. You know what I mean?
Mate,
every episode is better and better.
The first episode, I had the fucking mic and blocked her face the whole time, man. But she was such a good guest, and I do a video and an audio.
Yeah.
And then my sound equipment wasn't great, and then I had this fantastic guy called Ruben Yonton. He's like, imagine this like shamanic sound healing, Aboriginal Mexican from the mountains. And
you should have kept that one for a later on.
Well, I wanted a 3 episode launch.
Yeah.
And I wanted 3 people who would attract guests, and then the 4th episode's his part 2. Problem was the sound equipment was shocking.
Shocking,
And then there was a fucking motorway all around us. There was peacocks and shit, and there was planes going above. So
where was that in that cave?
It's at my friend's house. She's got her own little space in Nutford, and we've actually got her on the guest. But I mean, I've got her on the show as a guest, and eventually I've just kept improving. We've just had somebody on from Dirtwire, so that's an American band. And I actually, funny enough, took them to a festival through a friend. Got like a free ticket and that. But these are like, for an example, one of their songs has got like 389,000 views. Just so on a song.
Is that the guy that you've had the last one?
Evan Fraser from the last one, and he's really talking about how he has like mushroom teas before they do a jam session to get inspiration, and it's quite interesting.
I've had that a couple of times.
Yeah. What, the mushroom tea?
Not the tea. I've had the actual chocolate.
And
the mushrooms and stuff, and just so I can. Just have a bit of a wider view of things.
Well, that's one of the ways that you release from ego, because when you have those master medicines, they either push it aside or they amplify it so that you can pay attention to it and heal it, and then that's what people might call a bad trip. But really, I have not. The master medicines were just trying to lead you down a route to help you heal or grow, and you didn't like that route.
You didn't like it.
Because as a human, we're not meant to just be happy.
And as a human being, we take the easiest route down the hill.
Of course we do. We're lazy. We're inherently lazy. That's why we make
because we're 80% water, 85% water. Water takes the easy way down the hill.
That's a good way of thinking about it.
That's my coach.
Nah, I like that. It's cool.
That taught us, because we always used to steal, you know, 10 press ups, so we'd do like, so you're cheating yourself. Like 80% water, you need to do the opposite.
But I mean, with the whole thing about water as well, have you ever done element meditation?
Bro, I'm new to meditation. That's why I'm so curious.
Well, you know what the elements are, right?
I know the elements.
Yeah, so you're like water, fire, earth, air, and then space.
Space. And
I used to take it to...
What's matter clusters?
Well, that's just earth.
Yeah, that's
earth,
yeah,
the density.
Yeah,
the density is like, that's just matter. But I used to take it literal. I'd literally thinking like a bit of dirt or fire. What they mean by it is they mean like, so fire element is an intensity of energy or a lack of it. So if you're getting lots of heat, that's because there's a lot of energy there.
Yeah.
There's not heat, that means there's not enough energy there.
Yeah.
Earth just means density, the heaviness of this material realm. Yeah. Water just means the flow of the...
It's okay.
Means like the flow of the universe. And you can feel that flow within you. So I've had it where I literally become water, mate. It's fucking madness. And then the value, the air, that's the motion. That's how everything moves. There is no motion without air. And then space, that's the element of nothingness. The Tao, the thing that allows gods to even exist. You need nothing. Space allows all the other 4 elements to play. Like, you need the tapestry to create the best. You know what I mean? You need the canvas to create the painting. You need silence for there to be sound. You need space for there to be movement. You need
light to be dark.
Exactly, yeah.
Dark is only a sense of absence of light.
Exactly. You need the absence to have the something.
So the something,
what I do is I practice feeling them within and then feeling them about. I was taught by the Hatha yoga people, and
That was the next. Who taught you all this?
it's a mix.
Did you just read it all up and search it on YouTube, or did you have like a proper guru?
So I'm a guy who I have an obsessive personality.
Yeah.
Like when I get into something, I get into something. And
yeah.
when I was doing the app, trying to get to sleep, and I started realizing that it was helping in other areas. I could see a lot of sense in it. It wasn't this woo-woo bullshit. It was actually quite practical and scientific. And then I'd started reading about it a lot. Then I'd start watching a lot of stuff, talking to people about it who are already quite
like
good.
I do.
Exactly, yeah. And then having teachers, so like at the Vipassana you have a teacher, then the Hatha yoga people teaching me, the laughing yoga, all these different people. And then it's just what I'm building up. But I'm very and like someone will say, what meditation do you teach? I don't teach a type. I don't like labels. It's limiting.
Then you're limited,
Like, why not just, this is what works for me. This is what's helped me in this particular moment. Like last night I did a class, and the class was a breathing technique that actually came to me on a mushroom ceremony.
Oh.
Where I called it the Veda. There's probably actually everybody where you got literally go and expansion, softening, and it creates space for something that might be hard to hold, and then the release, soften, release.
That's the meditation and stuff like this is even though I'm a Christian, I still like this idea because it makes sense to me.
I mean,
so I'm on a journey now when I'm gonna allow myself to learn a bit more about this, because I think I'm missing out on a lot.
More than welcome, mate. We only live close by.
I think I'm missing out on all useful knowledge.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's useful knowledge that's been passed down.
Yeah.
You need to experience it though. Just thinking about it isn't actually going to create any sort of experience, because we're just made of habits. That's what our personality is. It's
habits. Habits, routines.
Habits can be programmed and unprogrammed.
Yeah.
Where the meditation allows you to witness what behavior patterns are already in
Sit
place
from outside and then watch yourself a little.
Don't become anger. Just witness it. Anger's just a fucking big brother.
Yeah.
Anger just wants to protect the more vulnerable parts of you. So when a vulnerable part gets triggered, anger steps in and goes, right.
So, because like I said, from normal traditional Christians or traditional one God religions, they think all this type of stuff is is a pagan or whatever. But the more I looked into it, I don't think it is. It's just energy and spirituality. Do you know what
I mean? I now that I have a respect for spirituality, I also have a respect for religion. I don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Loads of stuff like Christians say are fantastic, like love thy neighbour. You know, he who's without sin casts the first stone. Things like that. Saying don't judge somebody if you got reasons to be judged, you wouldn't like it, would you?
Jesus,
all that sort of stuff. Yeah. Jesus is a G.
Jesus to me, because I've not learned it from parents, because what parents taught us when I was younger, I thought it was just what parents taught us was it was just stories. So I've went and done my research on Jesus, and I'm like a Jesus guy. Do you know what I mean? The one. But I'm not going around telling anyone who's right or wrong, unless people come and ask me about what I think.
Yeah. I mean,
you're not gonna catch me saying, "Oh, you wrong, bro." When I see people they're lost, I tell them, if let's say it's a Muslim guy that was lost and it talks to me, bro, you need to go back to the mosque and focus on Islam. That's what your core beliefs are from before you lost. I don't try to bring people down to my paths. Do you know what I mean?
No, I mean,
go to your religion, go and speak to your imam.
Do you know what it is?
Your own.
Exactly. Yeah. There's more than one way up a mountain.
Yeah.
So how do you know your way is the right way? You know what? You just so happen to find the exact thing that works for everyone.
Yeah.
Like that's why you need me saying stuff. You need you saying stuff. You need everybody else saying stuff, and then it might resonate with a few people. So that's why I believe in authenticity. Be your true self, because you need to resonate with the people who are on the same path as you.
Same path, yeah.
If I'm acting like somebody else, I'm going to attract a load of people who don't even believe in what I believe in.
Yeah.
What's the point?
And you try to convince them and change their core beliefs within a few.
Why? Because you need them to believe what you believe. Like, do you not trust in what you believe? Like, for me, you could question everything, and I see that as a good thing. If I'm not willing to question my own beliefs, that's the ego we were talking about.
Yeah, because you try to convince other people to believe what you believe.
Yeah, because you don't believe it.
Why
do you need everyone else to believe it? Like, do you not believe it? Like,
that's what
try and tell me to go and kill a baby. I'll go, nah, I don't believe in it. You could give me any bullshit
Any
answer you want.
Any
twist it how it's good for the universe. Nah, it's not my truth. No, I'm not doing it.
This is what this is. I'll tell you another one. I'll probably tell you the tips after the.
Yeah. I'm down for anything like that.
Let me see what I think the have you been to Japan or China?
I want to go to Tokyo so bad.
Tokyo.
I mean, I want to see the world, but I've never managed to get there so far. I've not been to Asia.
I wanted
actually.
to go to Japan, man.
That'd
Because
be so
obviously
cool.
judo is from Japan. I wanted
Yeah,
to go to a
yeah,
competition, but I was never good enough. I was good enough training, but mentally I was beating myself before I was going. That's another thing that I realized on the older age. I was beating myself before competitions, and I always used to lose, man, before going into. I got a couple of medals and stuff.
Yeah. You had the skill, but the mind was holding you
beating
back.
me.
Yeah,
I didn't know how to train the mind correctly. And
which is more important than the body, man. You're
it's
like
key. Key.
United players who I've seen in the youth academy, and they're sick. They never see them because the mind wasn't at it. They didn't. That's very important.
And you're not doing the class at the thingy now anymore, like at the.
So I do events at Transmute. So check this out.
Events.
What we do is he's got hammocks. So I do floating meditation journeys.
Yeah.
So it's something that I've created where, because I'm a storyteller, like I'm writing the book Peter Walnut, I'm teaching meditation. I brought them both together.
Yeah.
So I use music, I use storytelling, and I use meditation to take you on a journey. Each one's a different story.
What's on the
The
10th
27th.
or there's one on 27 and one on the 10th.
10th. I wouldn't know what the 10th one is. That won't be.
The hammock one, the standing hammock is.
Do you know what it is?
You?
They also do sound baths.
Yeah.
So the sound baths where musicians will play, because your vibration, sound is vibration. If you play an instrument in the right way, it can help you release something that's been trapped, or it can have a healing quality.
So
to
this Saturday coming out.
That's a sound bath.
Yeah.
I ain't a musician. You don't want me playing instruments.
No.
brother.
Is it good though?
Yeah. I mean, he did. I think this one's with a guy called Greg.
And
he'll do like the didgeridoo, and he'll do loads of crazy shit. He's a funny character as well, actually. And
on the 10th is that thing about grounding to the roots, something like that. Going back to the. Let me just say, this one.
Yeah, so that's with the same guy who does the sound baths, but I think that's more like a full day thing where they're gonna have they're gonna have dance, they're gonna have loads of different stuff. I might actually go to it. It looks like it might.
I've already booked it. I'm going to.
When's that one?
10th, I think, is
10th of February.
10th of Feb. Yeah, let me just check.
Might be able to. I'm taking the girlfriend away to be on the 9th, so we'll see.
Yeah, I think it's the 10th. Yeah.
But yeah, mine's different. So what I'm doing is I'm actually using storytelling. I'm using meditation that's in the storytelling, and then I use music. I use musicians as if they were the characters themselves that are talking to. And the next one's called The Eternal Sands of Egypt, a quest for immortality.
Yeah, questioning more. Yeah,
a quest for immortality, because it's all about teaching people through the ancient myth. Because I like using thematics.
Yeah,
people respond better to things that they have emotional responses to.
Yeah.
Story does that for people.
Story, yeah.
So
because sometimes they can relate, sometimes they can pictures. They have a path
or even you just find a character like Batman. I want to be like Batman. Do you know what I mean? I don't have to be relatable. My mum and dad didn't die as
to
a kid.
him, and then that's you following the.
It's emotion. Always about creating an emotional response.
Yeah.
Because the emotions of fuel. Words and thoughts are empty without that actual emotional fuel behind it. And that's why I decided to do that. And then Josh will do transmorphic breathwork before it. Breathwork's fantastic.
I need to learn to breathwork. I've had loads of people recommending me breathwork.
I can teach you loads of different ones. And then Josh has obviously got his way of doing it. There's stimulating. There's ways that you can have psychedelic experiences just by using
Yeah, I've heard that, yeah.
You can release trauma. Like I've had it where I'm crying my eyes out. Yeah. It's trapped in the body.
Yeah, I have a friend. He's done this breathwork.
Yeah.
And he said he's done it with another two friends, a couple. And then his girlfriend cried after it. Yeah.
It does, because you trap stuff in your body. And you could meditate, you could dance. Dance is a way of expressing and releasing energy. You could sing, you could do art, you could do fucking anything.
Sign me up, mate. I need to come and see you a bit to learn a few things.
If you want to come down,
I'm going to come on the 27th.
I checked, there's like 16 hammocks, and I think there's only 5 hammocks left now.
I've seen it. I wasn't sure whether that, but I'm going to come because I've got nothing else to do. It's Saturday, isn't it? Or Sunday?
Yeah, Saturday.
Saturday 27th. I think
we've got Arignani on the Friday, which is where my friend Wizardry, he's sick.
What's Arignani? Tell me about that.
So it's like ceremonial ecstatic dance. So he's using dance because we're energy, right?
Yeah.
And when you move, it expresses that energy, and it might say you're angry, you could dance violently, you release the energy in that moment. It's not trapped in you. He uses like Huni Kuin, which is an Amazonian tribe who I actually got on the podcast. He uses their chants. They use the cacao that I was telling you about.
That's to relax you and keep you think.
Well, cacao's got caffeine in it, so it brings you active, but it's also got theobromine in it, which relaxes you. And then it's to the people who use it as a medicine, it opens up the heart. and then it makes you more receptive, it makes you more open.
So it's good for you, cacao.
Yeah, it's got loads of health benefits. It's one of the superfoods as well. I get it the pure
cacao
from Peru. And I chop it there in the morning. Like you say about discipline, I'm all about ritual. So
ritual, yeah.
I'll spend like half an hour chopping it, getting this honey that I've got a Polish farmer, and then putting cayenne pepper, cinnamon in it. And
you found something that you really like. I can tell you're passionate about.
I don't even have breakfast.
Intermittent fasting, you do like...
I just, so my girlfriend's a naturopathic nutritionist. So shout out to Isabella Nutrition. Go check her out.
Isabella Nutrition. Yeah, she's on Instagram.
She's got a website, and she basically uses like the old saying of let food be thy medicine. Yeah. Stop going to the doctor. Don't stop going to the doctor. You got something that really needs looking at. Work with the doctor, but then also, what's the actual cause?
Prevent having to go to the doctors. That's the main thing.
I've got anxiety, right? Well, did you know these certain foods actually help to ease the effects of anxiety and stuff? Oh, I've got a weight problem. Well, she'll look at lifestyle changes as well, not just the nutrition. And
a lot of his lifestyle.
It's a holistic approach to taking care of your health. But she's an expert in nutrition.
Josh's mum's doing that as well.
Exactly.
Isn't it?
Yeah, but I think Isabella's was her course was more on the scientific side. Josh's mum's really good at the other side. It's like, everything's got
their own side. Yeah.
So she's got her own way of doing it as well, which is really helpful.
I agree. I'm totally with that, because I feel my body when I'm having a certain diet, and I know I'm slacking. I can just feel.
Oh, you eat literally,
and I just do the turns because I'm literally feeling my body's telling me, "Hold on, you're feeling your double chin."
Do you know what it is? Like health.
What are you doing about it?
If you're driving a car, you're filling it with fucking piss. It ain't gonna drive, is it?
It's not gonna drive.
The car up. Whereas if you fill it with the right fuel, it'll run perfectly.
Burn it better.
Do you think you're any different? You're just a vessel.
We're a bionic machine, really.
Well, you're not the body. Like that's one of the first things I realised. Like you chop my hand off.
You have a body.
I'm no less me. That's just the vessel in which I experience this reality.
Yeah, you have a body. That's what they say. Your body.
Yeah.
Do you know what a person means?
Go on.
It comes from the Latin word persona.
Persona.
The pair of you. So it's you and yourself.
Well, who's the one that's feeling? Who's the one that's smelling? Who's the one that's seeing?
That's what I mean. There's you and the self.
And the self.
There's two of you. The persona means two of you.
Well, to me, there's the...
I don't know why they...
Well, this is the analogy I use to my students, is the gaming. So basically, when you're playing Mario...
Yeah?
You ain't fucking Mario, are you?
No.
But you are, because you wouldn't be...
You're the one jumping. You're the one jumping,
and Mario's got all these limitations and rules that creates the world of Mario, and you're playing that game with those limitations, and you're growing, and... Just like a human, you're
changing levels,
learning, you're changing levels, but you ain't Mario. You're the player who's playing Mario. So you ain't Michael. You're the player, the nameless, timeless player behind it all. But you are Michael as well. You also are in this moment. Yeah, and it's about using those paradoxes of you are and you aren't. So you are Mario, but you look. I know.
This is our avatar type of thing that we use to go through the world
and
experience life.
Yeah, it's a human experience.
Yeah, feel, smell. Because otherwise, and as a spiritual being, I don't think we have these abilities to feel, smell, taste. So
why would you come and be a human if you could? So clearly, and I'm not going to bullshit you. Yeah. That's one of the things that annoys me. People start acting as if they know. Like, I don't know what happens when you die.
I don't know.
I don't know what this core is, but what I do know is when I observe the smell, I observe what's happening, I observe the sensation, I stop becoming it, and I can enjoy it like a show, like I'd watch a film.
Like a show, yeah.
So when I'm having this anxiety, I have panic attacks. That's what I was going to tell you in the Vipassana.
Yeah.
I got to the point where I could witness so we'd be at the dinner table, I'd walk, and I'd used to get panic attacks all the time, still can.
Yeah.
I just observe it. Within seconds, my panic attack has been processed, released, cracking on with my day.
How do you help someone that gets panic attacks?
So for me, it would all start with breathing. So let's start with the breath. Let's learn how to regulate the nervous system, because a breath doesn't have pain. A breath doesn't have sensation. It just is. And it's constant. So you can keep coming back to it, let the body regulate. And then you can start looking a bit why the panic came. What was it? What was the thing that happened just before the panic came? What is it about the sensation that you have an aversion to? Because all it is, it's only a sensation, right? Well, that's going to pass.
Yeah, that's gonna pass. Yeah.
So why are you annoyed sorry, not annoyed, but why are you resisting something that's gonna pass anyway?
Yeah.
So if you let it pass naturally,
Yeah.
by just getting out of the way and just observing the breath, it'll process, but fully feel it. Don't disattach as if like you still have to fully feel it, but just don't become it.
With the younger people, like I'm talking younger, 14-year-old, 30. Could you teach younger people?
Yeah, I'm even thinking about doing like a little mini meditators.
That's what I mean, because I think all this young generation now, like
they should be teaching 13, it in schools, mate.
They should teach them, because there's a pandemic with this depression in children.
Yeah, exactly.
Anxiety. Children are not going to be in school. I know quite a few parents that the kids refuse to go to school, and they're all right. Oh, he can't come. He's got anxiety.
Well, do you know what it is? Like you were saying about the filtering out all the bullshit. We're in a society that has been constructed with systems to get as much out of the people as they can without giving back. And the problem is with that, eventually that leads all your fucking workers and all those people to have these issues. Back in the day, they're just suppressing it, whereas the culture is starting to be a bit more like
waking up a bit,
and that's making it so that like, why am I allowing myself to go to a place like that? Like, they're not trying to teach you. If they really wanted to create healthy human beings, they would teach them meditation, teach them yoga, they would teach them how to understand how to use finances correctly, all these things that would help you have a healthy adult life, emotional regulation, all the, I ain't not taught any of that. No, I'm taught how to do like stuff that I'm never gonna use even. When am I gonna use
the sexual life of a hippo? You know, on the
do you know
what I mean? On a class, I remember that.
I was going to say, you had a different class.
We had like animals, how they do.
Right, I get you.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was learning how hippos have babies.
Right.
I'm like, I don't need to know.
Which is cool.
It's cool, but there was other things that I wanted to know before that.
But the problem is, this society has been created to be a place where you are programmed to hate how you feel, so you will look for stuff outside of yourself to make you feel better. So I hate how I feel, I'm going to buy that. I hate how I feel, I'm going to drink that. I hate how I feel, so I'm going to go to that, rather than I'm just going to feel how it made me feel. If you were taught how to actually feel how you felt and have no aversion to it or craving for something that doesn't actually exist in this moment, why would you go and spend your money on stuff
that makes you feel worse?
Well, the whole point is they want you to feel like shit. They want you to think that this is the answer. So come and buy this and you'll be happy. Better.
Yeah.
But we need people to be in a place of dysregulation to make them even want to do that. So what else do? We start telling them in the news that everything's out to get them. That'll stress them out. I'll tell you what we'll do as well. We'll put a fucking phone in everyone's hand that's constantly fighting for your attention, so you can't even hold your attention for one moment on something.
Yeah.
So you're just constantly distracted.
Yeah.
All of this is to make it so that you will not accept your actual reality that you're in right now. Because once you accept where you are, well, I don't need anything. So the only stuff I buy is what I actually believe is for my higher good. So that's when I don't even need to use discipline. I just use my truth compass.
The truth, yeah. Because I've got a 5-year-old daughter, a 14-year-old daughter that actually I've observed the issues that's not just with mine, with all my kids, with all the kids nowadays, the lack of attention, of patience. Because no more patience. You don't like an argument, you leave the server. You don't want confrontation, you block them. You know what I mean? And then you get into the real world where you have to talk face to face, or you have to wait in a queue. That's when they get.
Well, if you make everybody impatient,
then
they'll never master anything. I love this phrase: "He who masters patience masters everything else."
Yeah.
Because with persistence, failure failure is just a lesson, isn't it? So these kids, or even just us, like I can say, like, my attention span is definitely a lot. It should be. And I believe what I'm actually teaching people is concentration, not meditation. Meditation is coming back to the truest version of yourself.
Concentration, but can you teach people how to concentrate?
Yeah, mate. And not just one way. I can teach you a myriad of ways depending on what suits you. Rather than this blanket, come to school, this works for everyone.
You're my personal coach from now. I swear to God, I've got. You got
my details, man. You got my details.
We're gonna keep talking about this. I need a couple of days a week with you just so I can rechannel my.
It's dead simple as well.
Recalibrate myself.
Do you know what it is? If it's getting complicated, you've overthought it. It's simple. What is it? Watch a sensation. That is. It's difficult, but it's simple.
Yeah, in the same time.
Yeah, and that should give you hope that if it's simple, then it can be done. Because when things get so complex, it's just like, oh, I'm not even fucking gonna bother. But how hard is it to watch the breath? Or I can teach you different ways of breathing. One will stimulate the vagus nerve, which will induce relaxation. One will get you into heightened state so you can grow. One will get you into it. You get the point.
I understand. Yeah, because they're different channels now, so you can. You figured. I like you.
I like you too.
Thank you for, bro. We're coming close to the end of our time.
Yeah.
Because we're doing it under an hour every podcast, so we make people have the patience to watch us. Because if we give them too long of a podcast, we might worry that because of the attention deficits.
Do you know one thing I do?
Yeah,
I split the episodes, so I'll have a part 1 and a part 2.
Part 2,
yeah. So that means the person still gets to tell their story in the way they feel they need to, but it gives it, like you said,
that's a good.
Digest part 1, part 2 coming next week.
That's another good. I think we should do that in the future as well.
Me and you need to chat anyway, because I'm sure you're doing a lot of good stuff. I can already see how well you got the setup and that.
I think that'll be one of the things I can do in the future, so I can flow with the conversation. Because we thought about if we do the podcast too long, exactly for the reason that we just discussed. Then attention. If people go and see an hour podcast, they lose concentration, and we might lose them 10 minutes into it, and they're not going to watch it.
Well, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot to digest.
Digest a full hour of somebody sharing who they are.
Sharing who they are, and they have to be interested in the convo as well, other than some guys talking about spirituality and meditation. Do you know what I mean? If you're not interested in that, it's all like watching a Jesus channel. Do you know what I mean?
I get what you're saying. That's why I like the fact that my authenticity will attract the people who need to come. And if I'm only helping one person, that's fine.
That's it. And then the other one helps too, and then it's a compounding interest.
Yeah, exactly.
Michael, thank you very much. Is the camera still going?
Yes.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on.
Hopefully, I'm going to have Michael again, because I want to carry on. Now I know exactly. I'm going to work out a group of questions. Maybe in future we'll have it.
Yeah, we can go down
again. We can carry on talking, because we can bring value to the listeners. Do you know what I mean?
And if anyone wants to find me, it's I'm on Instagram. It's _meditation_with_Michael. Or there's going to be a website in development as well. Or if you want to find me on Who on Earth, that's on Who on Earth. You put it in Spotify, iTunes, what have you. It's like Google Podcasts. It's all over the show. I even do the YouTube one, like I said, to do the video. So.
And where's your class at?
So the class is at the Resonance Centre, which is just near Manchester City's ground, so not far away from where we are now. And then the events are at Transmute Studio, that's in Stockport.
I'd recommend this guy. He's just talking to him, he just flows with ideas. Do you know what I mean? Usually when I talk to people about, I'm going to carry on for 2 more minutes, because about spirituality, I hit like obstacles where I'm like, hold on a minute, I can't flow back and forth, but I need to debate about this. But when I talk to him, it's like a back and forth flow. So I kind of like that.
I appreciate you. You're not me. You've got a whole unique life with so many different experiences. I haven't seen it. I haven't got the big picture. I've only got the Michael piece of the puzzle.
Your version, but it matches to what I understand.
But the listening part, like if I listen to you, I'll learn 100% more than I would have done if I'm talking. I already know what I bloody think.
You already know,
yeah. So it's although it's difficult because I like to chat as well.
But it's been good. I like I said, I enjoyed the encounter today.
No, I appreciate you letting me come on, mate.
Boom. And also, can you pass me that thing there? You know, the badge. So whenever I've got the first 10 guests, get a badge.
Ah, sick.
So you've got a badge.
It's a good little touch, that. Don't be afraid. I am the cure.
You know what I mean? So I think
nice
that matches your.
Well, I'll wear it. I'll take a little picture.
You are the cure to people that actually benefit from your classes and your teachings.
You know what it is?
Sharing your knowledge to them, do you know what I mean?
I just pass on what works for me.
That's what I mean.
As simple as that.